Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous Return from Beagle Point. We're continuing on our way back to the bubble after having visited Beagle Point. Mostly working on increasing our elite... We're mostly working on increasing our exobiology status to the elite rank, as well as hopefully acquiring enough money to be able to purchase a fleet carrier to go back out into the black with all of our ships. As I've stated in the last couple of episodes, I have received some requests to do a little bit of variety content once we get back to the bubble, doing some like FPS stuff and infiltration, things like that. So we'll seriously look into that, depending on the feedback that I get as we get closer to the bubble. Currently have a couple hundred jumps left to our next waypoint and another 100 jumps or so after that to get back to the bubble. So still probably, I don't know, probably a couple more weeks to get back based off of the pace that we're going. So not really in that much of a hurry, just kind of trying to balance getting back with also stopping and making some money along the way. So that's kind of the goal of what we're doing. My series has kind of evolved/devolved into mostly just kind of talking about whatever pops into my mind. I slowed down. I guess it didn't go all the way down to 0. Mostly just kind of talking about whatever pops into my mind. So if my videos seem kind of rambly, it's mostly just coming up with specific ideas beforehand to talk about. Gets kind of hard to do after a while. And while I could write out a list of things to talk about, I'd rather just get on and whatever pops into my head pops into my head. Let's see. Mostly just looking for high metal content bodies that may have some biology on it, because that gives us the best chance of getting our 90 million credit with first footfall stratum tectonicus, which is what we really like to find if at all possible. So regarding my channel, as I said before, I will be I'm not scheduling, but I will be doing some live streams beginning next week on Friday when the new Settlers of Kalgor patch for Path of Exile comes out, the new league, and mostly it's just going to be me grinding through the campaign mode. But related to that, I have received feedback over the, I don't know, year or so that I've been seriously paying attention to my channel, suggesting that given the fact that I don't like video editing and I more or less refuse to do it unless I absolutely have to, that doing more of a streaming approach to my channel would probably be a better idea. And what is the problem here? It's all the way down. I don't understand that. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. I know I was talking about streaming, but it's super distracting when I'm trying to do something and then it doesn't respond in the way that you expect it to. Especially when you're doing things and normally they respond a certain way and then all of a sudden it doesn't anymore, and it completely throws me off when that happens. I'm not able to just ignore it. So let's see. Why is it rotating? I don't know what's going on with my ship right now. Alright, that's all well and good, but I need some high metal content planets that actually have some biology on it. So I don't think we're actually going to find that in this one. There is a potential water world somewhere in here. But to be perfectly honest, it's just taking way too long to find it. We're just going to go ahead and move on. It's really frustrating when it happens like that, but sometimes that's just the way that it works. Live streaming. I've received a couple of comments, like it's by no means a majority of people, I didn't press the button. Suggesting that I have a, what's the word? They say I have a good voice for streaming. Maybe. I personally think I have a really nasally and annoying voice, but I think most people think that of themselves. But when I hear it back in a recording, I'm not necessarily impressed with the way I sound. So it isn't just how it sounds in my own head, it's how I hear myself in recordings and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of the way I sound. But regardless of that, setting that aside, as far as like live streaming goes and trying to do a stream, my response to that is always the same. It's you know, one of the reasons I have an interest in doing the content creation thing is I want to be my own boss and have my own schedule and be able to do things when I want to do them. And the unfortunate thing about running a stream is that, oh my God, what is the deal here? How slow do I have to be going before I can? All right, I think I have an issue with my joystick and it's just not bringing it all the way down to 0. It's the only thing I can think of that might be causing that. So we got some icy bodies over here. There's so many bodies in this system, it's almost not worth even messing with. I'll do a cursory glance. Yeah, and a lot of it's going to be over there in the other. Yeah, we're not messing with this. There's just too many. There's too many bodies in here. I've made it very clear multiple times that I really detest. Like, there is no word strong enough to talk about how much I dislike the full spectrum system scanner. I really, really don't like it. I really, really, really don't like it, and I really wish that they would get rid of it in favor of a more menu-based kind of a system or something. Something that makes it so that I'm not having to hunt and peck around and scroll around and hope that I come across something in the screen. I really hate it. Of the various exploration mechanics that I hate, that is of the various mechanics in the game, period, that I hate, the full spectrum system scanner is absolutely by far #1, my most hated thing that I wish that they would just get rid of it. Have I made my point? I can't stand it. But anyways, as far as streaming goes, the reason why you have to do streaming on a schedule. It's not something that you can just kind of pick it up and do it whenever you want to. You have to do it when A, when people are available to watch you. B, make sure that it's consistent so that people know when to log on to watch you. And, you know, it's just, you have to do it on a schedule. And if I have to be on a schedule, then I might as well just go get a regular job and, you know, just do that. Either, you know, try to find some, like, I want to do remote work, and there's supposedly a lot of remote opportunities out there, but I'm not interested in locking myself down to a schedule for something like that, because you might as well just be doing another job. Then there's no freedom in doing a live stream. You have to do things when your audience wants you to do it, and you basically have to watch. You basically have to do what you might as well have a boss at that point, because your audience becomes your immediate supervisor at that point. Because if you're not doing the things that they want, they're gonna walk away and not watch your stream anymore, and then you're stuck there doing your stream and not doing what you want, not doing it how you want. There's no differentiation there between, you know, when it comes to, you know, what I want out of my content creation path. I want the freedom that comes from being more of a publisher rather than a live on screen presenter. So that's, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword where, you know, I'm not interested in, like most things in my life. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so super picky about everything in my life that it makes almost anything I want to do either extremely difficult or pretty much impossible to do. Because I want things a certain way, and the way that I want them does not line up with reality. And unfortunately, it makes it so that most of the things that I want out of my life just aren't feasible. You know, I would like to make money. I would love to make money with my channel, enough money with my channel to live my life and have a decent career and all that stuff. But I either have to suck it up and do the, you know, the draconian schedule of doing streaming, which I really don't want to do, or I have to figure out, oh my God, all the way. That's really annoying. It's really annoying. Maybe I need to add some dead zone to my throttle to fix that. We'll look at that here in a second. Did I get? No, there should be one. There we go. I'm gonna say there should be. See, look at this. I should not have to do this. This should not be a thing. Like, get rid of the spectrum at the very least. And if I highlight over something, just circle it for me. Why do I have to do this stupid manual shifting through the spectrum? It's really irritating. So much wasted time screwing around fiddling with this stuff. it's either, you know, put up with the draconian schedule of a live stream where I have to show up and I have to show up every day, or my audience goes and finds something else to do. I don't want to tether myself to that. It's basically just having another job. But you have the illusion that you're your own boss, but you're not, because you have to do what the audience wants, or they're going to go find something else to do. So, you know, it's just, in my mind, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to trade one boss for 1,000 bosses if I'm lucky, you know? So that's the whole thing about live streaming. But then at the same time, I'm not interested in spending hours and hours and hours editing videos on the off chance that one of them... All right, yeah, we gotta see if we can fix that. On the off chance that, you know, a few of my videos actually turn out to, you know, become something reasonable. Let's see. I need to try that. Hopefully that's going to fix the problem. I mean, seriously. I don't understand what's going on with that. You're going to see me get more and more irritated as I continue to have to put up with whatever this stupid bug is that's preventing my throttle from registering a 0 throttle. Really annoying. So I guess I need to go back to using my keyboard only. I'm like, I didn't start out in a bad mood, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Like, I'm not even really in a bad mood. This is just how I am. I get really annoyed when things don't work the way that they're supposed to work. And this seems like, I mean, I guess maybe my joystick's just finally starting to die. I don't know. But I want to say it's the game, because I don't want to have to worry about my joystick. I don't want to have to worry about my joystick. That's going to be really annoying if I have to figure out getting a new joystick right now. I don't have money for that crap. So yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. Let's pop into the next system. I'll put it down using the keyboard commands and see if that zeroes it out. And if that ends up being the case, then I'll either increase the dead zone on my throttle, or and see if that fixes it. Super annoying. Anyways, I hate video editing, and until I get to the point where I can, you know, hire somebody to do that, video editing is just not going to be a thing. So I know I inhibit myself, I inhibit my own growth by being unwilling to do all of the things that I hate. I don't want to spend hours on a stream, and I don't want to be tethered to a schedule. But realistically, that's the only way you can grow a stream and maintain a stream, because people have to be able to rely on you to be there when they want to watch. So. And I also don't want to spend hours and hours editing videos, or, you know, doing even just like the basic video editing stuff. I have no interest in that. It like, I might as well just go to work. I might as well just, like, have a regular job. Like, I'm not moving away from that if I'm having to do that. So I don't know. I realize how that sounds from the outside. But that's just me. I've always been trying to move to a place where I can do more of the stuff I want to do and a lot less of the crap that I don't want to do. There's only a few ways to get there. Winning the lottery is one of the one of the very few ways that you can actually get to the part where you're able to pretty much just do what you want and not have to do anything else. All right, we'll try this. We'll try doing it with the keyboard command. Bring it down to 0. Okay, yeah, I think we're having a joystick issue. It's not registering all the way down to 0. I'll try increasing my dead zone for the throttle, but geez, I mean, look at this. Look how ridiculous this is. Why do I have to go to a place, wait, cycle through this crap, hoping to find it? Like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't mind exploration. I had somebody who left me a comment saying that I have a problem with exploration. It isn't that I have a problem with exploration per se. I have a problem with certain elements that have been implemented the way that they've been implemented, and it really irritates me, like, a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We'll try 20 and see if that fixes the problem. Okay. I think what we're having here is we're having a failure of my joystick to go all the way down to 0. So hopefully having a really high, because I don't really use my throttle that much for precision anything. It's either all on or all off. Because when I get into precision mode, I switch over to thrusting with my keyboard, WASD keys. So I don't really need my throttle to be super hyper accurate. I just need it to be able to go all the way up and all the way down so I can quickly switch between full throttle and 0 throttle. Because I mostly just use my throttle to stop the to bring the throttle to 0 to use my full spectrum system scanner, and then, you know, pop it right back up for the most part. So that's kind of just the way that works. So ideally, well, we're not going to use it in this system, but when we get into the next system, because I don't know if it's a problem with the programming, like once I get it to work and then all of a sudden it just continues to work, I don't know if maybe it's just a bug with the programming. So I want to go a couple of times now with it, with using just the throttle, and see if I continue having the issue or if it's gone away because I've increased the dead zone high enough that that going all the way down on my throttle is now fully registering as 0. So we'll see. I don't know. So, you know, it's one of those having your cake and eating it two things. And while the logical part of me knows that I have to suck it up and do one or the other, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to video edit, and I don't mind the concept of live streaming. I just know that you have to be on a schedule to do that, and I don't want to. I don't want to be on a schedule. If I'm going to be on a schedule, then I'm just going to go get it. I'm just going to go get another job, because, you know, I don't want to. An office job is much less stressful than having to you know, stream. Yeah, okay, it's definitely my joystick. My joystick's dying on me. That sucks. That really sucks. The rest of those are icy bodies. So, you know, I've been trying to get away with, and I've had some limited success with basically, you know, recording myself as if I'm live streaming and then just publishing them as videos. You know, I guess the equivalent of what used to be called a Let's Play. You know, and that's been working to some degree, but I know that there's only a limited market for that these days, because people want to have highly curated, highly polished, highly edited, highly this, that, or the other thing videos, because we've allowed ourselves to believe that we watch content because, you know, we want quality, as in something that has been highly modified to cut out all the stuff. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I find that I can only consume so much of that highly edited stuff before I'm just like, I'm bored. And then I just go watch Asmongold and I watch his videos. I don't watch his streams. I have no interest in watching his streams because I can't jump around in it, or I don't want to sit and watch his stream for however many hours he's on, because I have no control over that. I want to be able to, I want to watch the specific topics that he covers, and you know, and the rest of it, if he's talking about something I'm not interested in, I don't want to sit there and wait for him to get to something else. I want to, like, so I don't watch streamers, but I will watch the videos that they publish outside of that, because then I have control over, you know, what I'm watching, when I'm watching it. Like, just me as the same thing. Like, the reason why I was really glad when YouTube and internet stuff and streaming services became a thing is because I didn't have to, you know, work my life around a TV show. All right, see, this is what I'm talking about. I want specific things, but I never know exactly when they're going to show up the way I want them to show up. And this is why this particular tool is just so stupid. This is the most annoying tool in the game as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. Like, look at all this hunting around I'm having to do to find something that should just be highlighted for me. If I see, like, I would be much happier with this tool if I set it to a spectrum, and then somewhere on the screen, right, if that just gets highlighted for me, and I can draw myself to it. Like, I shouldn't have to go find it. If I set something on the spectrum, it should just show up on the screen saying, "Oh, it's over here." Boom. Zoom in on it. If they just made that one change to the tool, I would be way less annoyed with this entire process. Like, instead of forcing me to, like, fiddle around and try to find it on the screen, let me set it to the thing that I want, and then have that just show up as a solid circle on the screen, anywhere on the screen, and I can just go to it and zoom on it. Man, that would be a complete game changer. It would make the tool way less annoying. That's the fix that needs to be made. That's the fix that needs to be made to make that much less annoying, and I think a lot of people would probably be much less frustrated with the entire process if they made it that way. Oh man, that would be such an awesome thing to do. I would be so much more enthusiastic about you know, exploration in general if they just made that one single change would just make it so much better. So much better. Oh, and seriously, that just popped into my head right now. That would be a simple change that they could do in a single patch that would make it so much easier and so much more satisfying to do exploration if they just did that. Like right now, I don't have to go find it with the circle. It just where if I can find it. Like that, this right here, even if I was over here, that would show up now because I've selected that filter. That would be so awesome. Oh, I can't tell you how much better that would be. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on then. We are getting into the 20-minute mark on this video though, so we do need to start looking for a place to land. I don't want to land quite yet, but we do need to start being on the lookout for somewhere to put down. As I've said multiple times before, you don't have to land, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You can log out in space and it's perfectly fine. It's just for me, from a sort of role-playing perspective, I like the idea of like shutting down for the night or shutting down for the day, landed safely on a planet. It's an RP thing. I'm an RPG guy. I grew up with Dungeons and Dragons and all that stuff, and that's just the way my brain thinks. I like to do things properly. I just pulled away from the star too quickly. Let's see if we can finish getting fueled up there. All right, cool. All right, yeah, 17 bodies. We'll probably go ahead and just try to find a place to land. If we find any biology at all, we'll go ahead and do that, but we'll probably go ahead and get ourselves landed here. But yeah, this whole having to hover over something and then go through the spectrum is just like, it's an unnecessary time waster. Like, I disagree with this manual process in the first place, but the degree to which they force you to manually do this is just obnoxious. It's really obnoxious. I really, really don't like it. Like, look at this. Look at how much time I'm having to spend just fiddling around with settings, hoping to find a circle. It's so stupid. Given the technology that we supposedly have, like, why am I having to manually do this? This makes no sense to me. It's arbitrary decisions made by people who think they're being hardcore about things, and it's like, no, you're just wasting people's time. Okay. So one of these should end up being a landable planet. Got another high metal content world. Well, I was kind of hoping we would end up with a biological source, but it doesn't look like that's in the cards this time. That's okay. We will go and land at this closest planet here. First, I don't know what the deal is with the joystick, with the way that that's set up. I can set it to full throttle and then use keyboard commands to adjust the throttle, and it's fine. But if I have it set to 0 throttle and I try to do things, it just yanks it back down to 0 again. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a thing with maybe it is a problem with my joystick, and there's some kind of a sensor problem that's causing it to constantly update at 0 throttle or something. I don't know. It's an old Cytec or Logitech X3D Pro, or Extreme 3D Pro, sorry, which is a great joystick, and I bought 2 of them because I like to do dual joysticks when I'm doing combat in this game, but they're old and they're probably pretty worn out at this point. Okay, let's get this turned off so we can start landing. I just forget that I have to keep it at full throttle. As I always do anytime we're doing a landing without doing any biological stuff, we're just going to go ahead and land at the Terminator so that we have a nice little sunset / sunrise / whatever you want to call it. We'll get ourselves down to the surface and be done with the episode for today. So yeah, I know I've talked about a few things. I know the overall tone of this episode probably comes across as negative. I'm not necessarily in a bad mood. It's just certain things that annoyed me as things were happening, and I'm the kind of person that I get irritated with things. That's the way that I work. It is what it is. I eventually get over it and move on. Whatever. I think, though, that with the amount of time that I have to spend in that stupid full spectrum system scanner, I'm just kind of over it at this point. I'm ready to be done with that part of it. And I really, like I said, it would make it so much more streamlined and so much more enjoyable to use that tool if the spectrum filter was an actual enhancer rather than an arbitrary thing that makes it take longer to get things done. Like, if I could just pick which spectrum I want and it automatically highlights things that are on the screen, man, that would make the spectrum thing a much more useful tool. Because the way it's implemented now, it's just an irritating obstacle to getting things done. And man, how awesome it would be to just flip the switch on that and just make it much better. So let's get ourselves down. We got our landing gear down. I wish the game would decide whether it's going to illuminate the terrain or not. So, get ourselves down over here. And this is why I like landing like this, because we get a nice view of the star, especially when it's close up like this. I'm a big fan of landing when it's like this. All right. So, hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button if you did, so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed, and you'll be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click the join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a membership, but would like to support the channel, you can always leave YouTube's version of a tip with that thanks button. Direct contributions are greatly appreciated, and a critical component to helping to turn this channel into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.